Hello and welcome to Watch Makes These Watch Videos. My name is Axel and I'm glad to have you on the show. My topic is German watches, and this video today is about the kick-off, the build-up phase of a collection of German watches. Many of us have started collecting watches by buying one watch and then developing taste and preferences over time in terms of the shape we prefer, the color we prefer, what size fits best, what is the quality expectation I have, what do I expect, what do I request from a watch, which style do I prefer, am I more the diver's watch, the pilot's watch, the dress watch guy. What kind of movement do I prefer? Is it an automatic movement? Is it a hand-wound movement? A quartz movement? Some kind of hybrid movements like the kinetic solar watch or the spring drive from Seiko's? Which functions do I prefer? So it's a process to make up one's mind and to build up the real fitting collection. At least I, for myself, often bought a watch which I thought I'd like, but then I wasn't convinced about the quality and sold it again, although I liked the style, size or functions. So it was the process of burning money. This video is an attempt to propose a 5 watches starting collection, which is affordable in a way that all watches cost around 500 euro, so not too much money to burn if you don't like it, but a very heterogeneous collection with many aspects, flavors, types, styles and colors, in order to build up the mind, make an experience both in terms of style and size. At this point in time, I would like to make a remark to avoid any questions and uncertainties. I have no watch from Glashütte in this starter collection suggestion, and that's basically for 2 reasons. One is it is really hard to find a watch around the price tag of 500 euro in Glashütte. But even if I had been able to do that, I think Glashütte is an area with so many brands. It's worth a separate video, and I plan to do a separate video about the Glashütte brands, so it's not in this video, and I think the collection I prepared for today is a perfect starting point, and Glashütte is going to be a separate topic in the near future. I would like to start with a diver's watch, and that's the MARC & Sons Taucheruhr Automatic Professional 4 Blue. I picked up the blue watch because blue currently is kind of my favorite watch color. A couple of watches I recently purchased have been blue, either in terms of the bezel or the dial color, so I picked up the blue one. But this watch is also available with a green dial or a black dial, and the retail price for this watch on a steel bracelet is currently 490 euro. This watch is also available in a black hard-coated variant, which retails at 540 euro. The watch has a diameter of 42 mm and a lug-to-lug span of shy below 50 mm, 49.5. So it's a bigger watch, but it should fit on many, if not most, wrists. We have a steel case back which is screwed down and a water resistance of 500 meter. The sapphire crystal on the front is AR coated and the lug width is 22 mm. As a movement we have the Miyota 9T15, and if you have seen my recent videos, I did quite some remarks about my personal perception of Miyota and then received many comments from people who are much more on the technical side than I am, writing that's a good movement, easy to adjust, reliable, so I don't make a negative comment and I don't share my personal perception. I'd say the Miyota 9015 most probably is on par with the ETA movements, so no reason not to buy the watch just because of the movement. As mentioned, the diameter is 42 millimeter, the thickness is 13 millimeter, and the watch weighs, including the steel bracelet, 214 grams. The next watch I want to propose for a starter collection is a watch from Iron Annies. It's the reference number 50661 Bauhaus 1. I decided to present the off-white dial with the steel hands. The watch is also available with a dark dial, a black dial, and goldish hands, both for the off-white and the black dial version. The watch retails at 479 euro, and that's a watch which I think really nicely does the split between a sporty watch and a watch which is a bit more on the dressier side, so I really like it. We have on the 12 o'clock position a display of the remaining power reserve. On the 6 o'clock position we have a 24-hour indicator, so that's not a second time zone or a GMT time, it's just a 24-hour indicator. And on the 3 o'clock position we have a date. The movement is called caliber 9132. I suppose behind that we also see a Miyota. We have a mineral crystal on the front, a slightly domed mineral crystal. We have luminous color on the hands and small luminous dots just above the hour indexes. The watch has a diameter of 41 millimeter, a thickness of 12 millimeter, and a weight of just 62 grams, which makes it a watch which is really nice on the wrist. You don't really notice it, and with the curved mineral crystal it easily slips under long sleeve shirts. The water resistance is just 5 bars. The third watch I would like to suggest for a starter collection is a Flieger watch, and for 2 reasons I decided to go for a Dekla watch, and that's one, that Dekla offers that watch in the price range I set for myself. The 554 euro retail price perfectly fits into the range I've given myself. And the second point is that Dekla offers this watch not only in different sizes, but also in many other variants like satinized or blasted cases, satinized and polished in combination. You can get the watch with hardened steel. Dekla calls it 6 steel. You have the option to choose between the temperature blued hands and the black colored hands. You have the option to choose between the white lume color and the old radium lume color. You can choose between the type B, which I present here with the inner hour ring, or the type A with the hours on the outer ring and no inner ring. So quite some options to choose, but I think a typical Flieger watch is a good choice for a starter collection of German watches. The watch I present here is the 40 millimeter version with a lug width of 20 millimeter, a total thickness of 10.6 millimeter, and a weight without the strap of 65 gram. We have a Miyota movement installed, and the watch is water resistant up to 10 bars equaling 100 meter. The last but one is a watch which I picked for a certain reason. When we do start collecting watches and start building up a collection, I think one watch should fit to a more formal attire, and that's for me the Laco Halle 40, retailing at a price tag of 440 euro. Laco offers that model also in a black dial version and with a different name, I don't remember what it is, with a diameter of 38 millimeters, so you can play around a bit and pick what exactly fits your need. The Halle 40 is empowered by a movement Laco calls Laco 15. The basis of that movement is the Miyota 9015. Unfortunately, Laco doesn't say what they changed and what they built up on that basis in order to come to the Laco 15, but it's solid and good movement, and I think you won't have any issues with that. On the front we have a flat mineral crystal. The diameter, as mentioned, is 40 millimeter and the thickness is just 10.3 millimeters, so it easily slips under a long sleeve shirt. The lug width is 20 millimeter and the lug to lug span is surprisingly 48 millimeter, which is quite a lot given that the watch itself has only 40 millimeter, but the long thin horns are a typical element of this kind of watch, and you also see it with the Stova Antea or some Nomos models. The watch is water resistant up to 5 bar, equaling a 50 meter, and weighs, including the leather strap, 64 grams. The last watch in my today's starter collection suggestion is a watch from Steinhart's, and I picked the Steinhart Military 42, retailing at 480 euro. I thought it's a good idea to have a field or military watch in a starting collection. So we have a diver, we have a pilot's watch, we have a military watch, we have a watch in a kind of chronograph style without being a real chronograph with the iron any. We have a watch more on the dressier side. So quite a huge variety in the collection. And since Steinhart built this watch with a water resistance of 10 bar, the special models of Steinhart's used to have 5 bar only. Here we have got 10 bar, and that's something I really appreciate. The movement is either the ETA 2824-2 or the Sellita SW200, depending on availability, each in the version of the Elaboré or the equivalent. The hour hands and the indices are covered with luminous color, and Steinhart states the Super Luminova BGW9 white as the color of choice. The diameter is 42 millimeter, thickness of 13 millimeter, coming with a weight of 101 grams. The lug width is 22 millimeter, and the slightly curved sapphire crystal is double AR coated on the inner side, which makes me think that the outer side has no AR coating, which means it is less exposed to scratches, and something I appreciate with a field watch. Yeah, that has been my suggestion of 5 German watches to start with if you want to build up a German watch collection. Each of them is worth the money in their respective class, and if you like it, if you like the style, size and the functions, you may look for a watch which is either better in terms of build quality, better in terms of movement, better in terms of finish, or you're happy with the watch I suggested. If you're not happy with the watch I suggested, I'm pretty sure you don't burn too much money. One, because the watches are not too expensive, and second, most of the watches can be sold as a used watch without a huge loss. So let me know what you think about the suggestion I made, if you like the composition I did, how you started to collecting watches, and most important, stay safe, enjoy your watches. Maybe you want to click on one of the videos I put over here and look forward to the next videos to come. Cheers, Axel.